we'll just.
Welcome to the Weasel. Welcome to the Weasel. Whip out your dicks and shove them in your ass. Welcome to the Weasel with Mike and Jonah.
So I was just reading an article. I saw. Oh, fuck off. It was shared by Joe Rogan on Instagram. But essentially, neuroscientists recreate Pink Floyd song from recorded brainwaves of patients. Right. So they're doing like brain surgery on these patients, and they've got them listening to Pink Floyd, right? Just as in like the background, so they can like register that their brain's still
Uh
functioning.
huh.
And they were actually able to map out, because they have obviously the song, and then they're looking at the brain waves of these patients, right? They're actually able to map out the entire song, right? What song was it? I think it was A Hole in the Wall. Um, oh shit, it went away now.
Which one's the hole in the wall? Can you sing it?
No, I
Just
cannot.
give me a
Dude,
little
I'm not
something,
even gonna
dude.
try.
I need a little something just to know what you're talking about.
Um, I don't know what to tell you, dude. I'm fucking trying to, dude. We were listening to Pink Floyd last night, and but it was a bluegrass version of Another Hole in the Wall, and so I don't think it's a very good representation of this song itself. Um, but yeah, so they were able to map that song using just the brainwaves, like recreate it. And so what they're thinking now is that because they're able to do that, this is like step 5 in like a 30,000 step process of being able to communicate without speaking, right?
Oh, interesting.
So it's like if you can map a song.
Are you saying for like AI to figure out like, oh, okay, this is another chunk to the AI algorithm of like it's gonna be able like
Well,
we're gonna be able to do this through the power of technology someday?
I think it's more I think it's more like it could go either way, right? Like it could be the chunk for the AI, it could be a chunk for like a step for us in this. I think all that stuff really depends on how it is that it's being used and by whom, right? Because you've got like the two parties that are using AI. One party wants to use AI to make healthcare system more efficient. The other half of the group that want, the other half of the people trying to use AI are trying to use it to like take over the economy. There's not a lot of, there's a fine
I
line,
think you can
right?
do
And
both,
so
dude. You can come on. You can do both, dude. I'm honestly pretty excited for AI.
really,
Yeah, and like I know have all the parts of it of like fucking it's gonna learn self sentient. It's gonna realize it doesn't need us. It's gonna kill us. It's gonna take all these fucking jobs. It's gonna reorient the economy at such a rate that it's gonna be a crisis. Blah 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 blah.
right?
But also, we're probably gonna get some really fucking cool shit out of it. Like we're gonna
I think you're probably
there.
right.
Yeah, like we're gonna have, um, just these problems and issues that we've been working on forever. A machine's gonna be able to just run infinite iterations and figure it out for us, and just like the speed of like human progress, or maybe not even human at that, just the speed of technological advancement. I think it's about to pick up quite a bit.
Yeah, I think that's pretty safe to say. I feel like technology follows this weird pattern where it does like stutter steps. You'll have like this leap, and then things will like progressively slow down until you start. Somebody else has that shit. Now
Has
we
a
got
leap.
something figured out. Has a little
Oh
epiphany.
boy. Sorry guys, my wife just interrupted the studio.
Oh, not for long though.
Jeez, yeah, she's not gonna be my wife for much longer.
Uh,
Love you. Okay. Um sorry, what was I saying, dude, before? My wife.
Your wife, AI, exciting.
Damn, bro. She stole something from us today.
Man, there was this conversation we were having. It was beautiful. It was like a budding flower, and then it just got trampled on by the door as it swung open.
Yeah. No, I can't remember. But that's all to say that well, honestly, one thing real fucking soon in my life that's happening right now, which is pretty fucking interesting, is I'm buying a house with my new beloved, and we're closing on it next week. And it's been such a longer, more arduous, like, hoops to jump through process than I ever envisioned buying a house would be. And whatever. I mean, we can get into that if you want, but more though, we're buying a pretty big fucking house, and we're gonna have the ability to have it's a tri-level with a basement, or as I like to call it, the lower quadrant. So it's actually a quad level home.
Whoa.
So I'm gonna have my lair in the basement, which is like a walkout basement too, so you can just walk right out into the backyard. But I'm gonna have like my office down there for work. I'm gonna have like a sweet setup for the podcast. Do my own like in-person interviews for the podcast in my sweet new setup. But also,
nice.
My wife won't need to enter our bedroom / studio / workstation / where she keeps her hair accessories and gadgets
Yeah.
to interrupt me during the podcast. So I'm pretty excited, dude. I think there's a big change coming for me in my life right now. I was talking to Janie about it briefly earlier, but if you're one of those people that like categorizes your life into chapters, for some reason I fucking hate that analogy. Like, it just makes me cringe. Like, not everybody's life is worth a fucking book. Like some of your...
Is that why it bothers you?
Yeah, that's exactly why it bothers
not
me.
everybody's life's worth a book.
Yeah, dude, I'm just like, I don't want to read your fucking shitty life book.
It's not that chapters don't necessarily fit with like the timeline of life. It's that you don't have you're not deserving of a fucking story. Sit your ass down.
You're not that fucking interesting. Don't write a book, dude. But anyway, if life is a book, I feel like I'm kind of closing a chapter currently of like 20s apartment living, like you know, I'm about to own a home. I'm about to, you know, have like you know, a lot of space. I'm starting I'm getting a career going to some level. You know, talking about like adding kids very soon, just got married. I feel like the moving from this apartment to our new house will be like a transition of chapters in a way. So but it's weird. You barely think about a chapter ending or starting until you're like, "Oh shit, it's imminent."
Yeah, like you're already like one leg into the next chapter. You're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
So shit is changing. Yeah. Holy shit. No, that's true. Like, so how does it feel then? Do you think there's going to be some kind of inherent change in your life now that you are living in a new place?
Well, I'm moving to like the fucking like the suburbs, bro. Like the kind of like it's definitely not ritzy, but it is like very white, very like most people have like pretty good paying jobs. Like my neighbors are probably gonna be like middle aged and old. You know, like there's an HOA, you know. So like I'm definitely gonna have I was talking to Janie, I was like, I'm really not that excited to you know meet dads and make small talk, which is I feel like where I'm rapidly heading.
Yeah, you're gonna have to like talk over the fence to guys about their leaves.
Yeah. I was like, somebody's gonna
Oh,
literally be
man.
driving by my house, and he'll be like, "Hey Joe, how's it going?" And I'll be like, "Oh, what's up, Timmy? Mow your fucking grass." You know, like,
I did want to ask you about the HOA. Have you ever looked into HOAs and have you like read your contract and stuff? Do you kind of know
no,
what you're getting
dude,
into?
no idea.
No. Oh, okay. I kind of thought the opposite.
No.
You know, me and Kira Lee were talking about it the other day. We're like, oh man, the HOA sounds fucking shit. And she's like, nah, Jonah wouldn't get roped into anything stupid, or you know,
Didn't even
he
read it.
checks that shit. I'm like, good, great. Well, you should just to make sure, dude.
No, I mean, honestly, this HOA is not very. It's not very much. I think it's like $160 a quarter. So what is that? I don't know. Do the math, but
It's not necessarily the money though.
it's like the lack of. It's like the restrictions placed on the way that you do things with your property.
Like how involved is the HOA going to be involved with you and Janie with the house and what you're allowed to do with it and all that stuff? Do you
I
know?
think to some degree, certainly. Like, I'm sure I can't paint my house fucking purple if I wanted to, but I think it's gonna be kind of chill, dude. And I enjoy keeping my shit neat and orderly and anyway. And I don't try to be a fucking nuisance to my neighbors or like blast music at weird hours, or I don't think I do any of that shit. So, and I'm really not that worried about it. And then plus a perk of this is like you get access to like all of the around town or around this neighborhood's rec centers for free. So like, I'm just kind of looking at it like a gym membership, really, like a cheap gym membership for like some probably pretty sweet places to work out, man.
Yeah, because they got like pools and stuff as well.
Yeah,
don't
but they have pools. But there's a fucking rock climbing wall. Like I don't think I've done a great job of describing to you this neighborhood. Think like young families in their 30s to like old people, but they're all white. Like not a minority in sight. It's just like a super gentrified area. There's more like spin classes around than there is like I don't know, pawn shops, like that's what I'm saying. So
There's not like a Cashies for gold shop every corner. There's more like
no,
a
probably not a
fucking-
lot of that.
There's a bunch of white moms stay at home running with their prams down the street, meeting up at the local park to do yoga
Yeah,
in the dew.
but I'm like that sounds pretty awesome.
Oh,
I was like,
no, it sounds
I definitely
good. Yeah.
prefer that than like a crackhead taking a bath in the fucking river next to me,
Right, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like having train tracks directly behind your house.
Yeah. So
because we all know somebody like that as well. Yeah, rough go with that stuff.
oh yeah, but so I'm interested to see how this like waspy, like how I enter this like dynamic or culture that I'm not used to really playing in. But I think I'm gonna fucking crush it, dude. I think I'm gonna be the leader of these dads. I'm just gonna absolutely. I'm gonna be like, you know what? I can run your fucking HOA. Let me at it, and then I start a revolution. You know how I do this a lot on the podcast. I describe a scenario, and then I quickly establish myself as the leader through revolt or in authoritarian means. I'm expecting something similar with the HOA committee, is all I'm saying. And I think I'm gonna have some people, some neighbors of mine that are gonna want to always hang out at my house, and I'll be like, no, Kevin, like we can't hang out today. He's like, but you're so cool, Jonah, and I'll go, shut the fuck up, Kevin. Don't say that. Don't. Jesus Christ, dude, get a life. Fuck. He's like, oh, my wife's mean to me, and I'm like, oh my god, dude. just fucking go home. And, like, she's out cheating on you, but, like, just go home and wait for her, huh, Kevy?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Get off my lawn, bro. I spent 3 hours manicuring it yesterday. You need to get the fuck out
I wonder
of here.
if I will. If I will. I know I will be a fucking lawn Nazi.
No, you ain't. No, you ain't.
What do you mean? I'm definitely gonna.
Tell you right now, you ain't gonna be. I already know you're not.
What the fuck would make you think that I wouldn't be like that?
All right, dude. Let me ask you this simple question.
Okay.
Right? Have you moved the stake over for your cactus?
No, but
No.
but it did almost fall over and snap in half, so I had to zip tie it higher.
Right. Yeah. See, now that is a pretty easy. And listen, I'm not saying I'm fucking not guilty of it too, because I said I'd help you do it, and I didn't when I was there. Granted, all right, but I don't know if you understand like how much effort and
Goes into like a
constant,
manicured
effort
lawn.
goes into manicuring a lawn, even just taking care of a lawn, even just getting it to look not that shitty of a lawn, right? It's just so fucking much time and energy, and it helps if you have the right tools though. So if you're gonna get into lawns, I would say get a whippersnipper with an edger attachment,
Bro,
so you can swap them out.
Bro, I used to mow lawns and like do this shit with my dad growing up.
Right. And I've never met your dad, but I've heard lots of stories about your dad.
What have you heard?
Lots of things from you. all good stuff though. I'm sure.
No, it's not good. He sucks.
No, not that I think that detracts from his ability to do lawns. It just kind of taints my opinion of how professional his lawns may be, just based off of the character that I've kind of built up in my mind. It's kind of comically annoying and kind of rude, and smells like off bread a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't smell great at this point.
Yeah.
I don't, dude. I mean, like we did. It was a pretty ragtag operation, but I feel like there was a bit of like, not like perfectionist, but like a craft to it. Like he was like, no, we have to do this correctly.
Right.
So
it's one of those things where like he's kind of a fuck a lot of the time, but when it came to lawns, he's like, now we got a process that we got to follow. It's got to look nice. And is that safe to say? Is that accurate? Like he was very like when it came to lawns?
I don't really remember. As far as like his work ethic, I mean, mostly I think he was just trying to like just get it done, but there was like a standard, I guess. And I was, a child and not super into mowing lawns with my dad for $15,
Ooh, big money, no whammies, dude.
Yeah, dude, that was the craziest bit of that, is that like we didn't actually have like a wage worked out. It was just like,
No.
I would just work with him all day mowing whatever lawns that he had to mow that day, sweating my balls off. Like, I'm only like fucking 7 or 8, and I'm just dying. And of course I'm on the push mower. He's on like the riding mower.
Right.
And he's doing
He's
all
not gonna
the-
let you drive it, dude.
Yeah. So I'm just like on a push mower, fucking cutting grass, dude, left and right. And yeah. And then at the end of the day, he would just give me whatever amount he thought I deserved.
You earned.
Yeah.
Here you go, kid. Here's $15.
Yeah. And honestly, like I definitely got fucking swindled, dude. But like even looking back, I'm like, damn, he swindled the fuck out of me for like the amount that I was doing. Like I was fucking working,
Yeah.
And then he maybe gave me the equivalent of like $5 an hour or something.
It's child labor at
Yeah,
work, baby. They make children
below
yearn for the
minimum
mines.
wage, dude.
Yeah, well below, dude. You're getting paid less than kids do to make shoes in China.
I don't know about that.
No, I don't know. They're getting like a couple of bucks a day, so
I don't know,
big
dude.
money,
I feel
no
like
whammies.
it's not even true anymore, man. I think they make plenty of money, dude.
Why do you think that?
I just feel like it's like, when's the last time you heard, about certainly like child labor is probably still a thing, but like I think there's been reform of their payment, since
From
the
why?
stereotype
Why?
existed. It's
What-
just the right thing to
What
do.
motivation? Yeah, right.
I think
So you think Nike is spending an extra $1 billion a year on fucking child wages because it's the right thing to do?
Yeah.
Just like Hershey is paying, all the workers to farm the cacao properly and fairly because it's the right thing to do.
I hope so.
Just like they're probably paying the young kids to mine uranium and lithium and cobalt and stuff a fair wage because it's the right thing
Yeah,
to
dude.
do.
I just bought a Kindle.
Right. Big old battery in that thing. Tiny little battery. Lots of fucking cobalt.
Yeah, dude, need mucho cobalt. Let's go.
You're right. I haven't seen any articles lately, like for a long time, about China's like unethical production of shoes. It's not just like fucking Reebok or Nike. It's all of them. They all do it. But I would say that I would lean more towards there hasn't been any articles because those companies are paying the people that write the articles not to write those articles, or just paying Google to, put that further down, like page 7 of the fucking search bar, because you can do that.
Man,
and a lot of people do that.
See, man, and I like to think that they're just kicking those kids a couple extra bucks,
Right? Yeah, yeah. That's what I think's happening too. Convince me, dude. I'm fucking transformed.
Dude,
Yeah,
man.
I'm reformed, bro.
Call me crazy. I think they did the right thing here.
I've never thought of them ever doing the right thing ever in my entire life. But maybe that's just maybe that's just me. But yeah.
Question for you, Mike.
So, sir.
Oh, I was gonna move on to one of our topics, but were you about to do the same?
Is it the second bullet down?
Yeah, were you about to ask the same thing? Damn, bro, we in sync, son.
Dude, that's why I was fucking trailing. I'm like, fuck, I'm trying to open this fucking shit. Recognize my face. Cunt. Come on, you motherfucker. This stupid little lawn chair for my phone angles it weird.
Yeah, let me take a potty real quick, and then we can get into it.
That sounds good. I might actually grab some coffee.
What's up, dude? We're back. Are we?
Hello.
We're back, dude. Hell yeah.
Hello. We're here. Hello.
I don't remember when I put this down, but I think it's in relation to kind of the chapters conversation we were having.
Yeah.
In that, what do you think was the most difficult period of your life?
I mean, I don't know. I think that depends on
How we define a period as well.
right, and what's difficult about it. Is it like emotionally difficult, physically difficult?
I think,
Or is it like a combination of
yeah,
everything?
yeah.
Like matrixing it
I think
out?
the culmination of everything, and we'll say year 2 year time frame.
Okay. Well, see that the other thing that the other thing I'm curious about too is I think it depends on how you define that time, right? Because like at the time, boot camp was the worst fucking thing to happen, right? To me at that time, and now in retrospect, I'm like, not that fucking bad, right?
Yeah. I was explaining piss troughs to Boris at breakfast today.
He would have loved piss troughs.
No, he hates
He would've loved
hates
them.
piss troughs, dude.
Whoa,
He can't.
really?
He can't pee at urinals. Yeah,
Boris, who goes to church orgies.
that's correct.
Boris.
Yeah,
Right, cannot piss in a urinal.
Yeah.
He's shy Peter.
yeah. He said that like his dad was like traveling around for work a lot, so like whenever
Right.
he was like in public peeing, he was always with his mom in a stall. And to the point now where like he has like he has like a shy bladder if he's in like a public area.
Okay. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that more.
Yeah, dude. I thought it was really interesting
But,
too.
That's really interesting. We'll have to talk to Boris about that one too, because that's really it does not compute, right? Like the idea that like someone who's so outgoing in that sense, and like sexually outgoing in that sense, the sense that Boris is also has a shy bladder, and it's all tied to that one thing. That is really interesting. Okay, I've written that down.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, we made a goal. I was like, all right, dude, we're going to get you pissing in a urinal in no time. And, and that's what I told him about the piss troughs of that. Like, there's just 90 dudes trying to, like, piss in this trough. And you all have to pee so much. And he was like, that's horrifying.
Yeah.
And ultimately, you get used to it, though. Like,
Right.
yeah, it's fucking weird at first. But then you're just like, oh, I'm just trying to slip your dick in between a crack of two dudes to fucking reach the trough to not piss yourself.
Yeah, you're grabbing other dudes' cocks and shaking them so they can fucking hurry the fuck up and get out.
Did
of
you
there,
ever
You know?
did you ever see somebody piss themselves
Yes.
in boot camp?
Yeah. Mostly it was the what is it? The parade deck. That's what it's called. The parade deck.
You saw people piss
Guys would-
themselves on the parade deck?
We had a dude shit himself on the parade deck. I'm not even fucking joking, dude. All right. We had this kid. I can't remember his name for the life of me, but he was whinging about having to go to the toilet for like fucking hour and a half, dude. We were out there practicing for final drill, and my drill instructor was like, "You shut the fuck up. Fucking get on with it. What are you, some kind of fucking pussy?" Yeah, dude. Fucking hour and a half into the 4-hour training session, dude. Fucking shit himself. Just shit his pants right then and there.
Honestly,
And
that sounds like it was kind of on your instructors though. Of like an hour and a half of asking,
Listen, man, you got to take a shit. They're not letting you shit. What do?
you shit yourself.
Just go.
Yeah.
And then you're at a final drill for the rest of the day. Now you can
Where-
fuck off back to the fucking barracks. Go get you hazed for a bit instead of having
Oh,
to march
dude.
up and down the fucking square.
That would be pretty terrible to shit yourself in boot camp, and then you just have like a drill instructor with you, like yelling at you to clean, like as you're cleaning shit out of your ass and pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's screaming in your face, hurry up, hurry up.
You're the most disgusting fucking piece of shit I've ever fucking seen.
Eyeballs. I
Um,
hated those cunts. As far as the worst day or the worst time or period in my life, I've got to say that, like, if I was to quantify it, I think the worst period in my life would be probably like that first 2 years I moved to Australia. I
yeah.
think it would have been the hardest period of my life. Yeah. Because I was just getting over, I still hadn't figured out like me separating from the military. Because I don't know, we've talked about it a bunch, and anybody who's been in the Marines or any service can tell you when you get out after 4 years or 40 years or however long, you have this weird, I wouldn't call it being empty feeling. It's more like there's something lacking, right? There's like a certain chunk of you that you just can't really. This is how I describe it. Is like it feels like you don't fit in anywhere because the rules outside of the military are so much different from the rules inside the military.
Right.
As far and like unsaid rules, like fucking interacting with people that you work with or interacting with roommates is different, and all these different ways that you communicate with people is completely out the window now. You got to completely relearn how to do all that stuff. And so I think doing that, like just starting to figure out like who I am as a person on the outside of the Marines, and then moving to Australia and having to, change like a complete, like two major culture shocks in less than a year. Yeah, way less, not even 6 months of each other, and then it's just fucking, and now, that I think that for me was probably one of the, like looking back, that's probably the hardest time. But, oddly enough, and you'll hear this a lot, and this is big in Buddhism and Hinduism, is, and probably every religion, I'm sure, but that period where it's the most difficult, and where you're having, like, when you get through it and you have the most growth, that kind of, those are the periods that you want. Like, like you look back in 30 years, 40 years, like 6 years in my case, and you look back fondly on that period where it was really shitty, but you managed to pull forward and pull through it, kind of thing.
Yeah. Funny enough, dude, I think my most difficult period in my life was the same. Like I'm thinking about my transition out of the military, and like, dude, there's like a real, like, I don't know, maybe like a mild depression, I think, that just seeps over you, and it takes time. I think it took me about 2 years to like fully be like, okay, I'm a person and not in the military. Like, this is my plan. This is how I understand how to interact with life in a different way and mannerism now.
Right.
Yeah, it took me probably about a full 2 years, but oddly enough, I think that was our most difficult periods were around the same time. But I also don't think we could. I mean, like, we still talked, but not nearly as much as we have since.
No, in fact, there was like maybe like a year and a half, almost 2 year, like gap when we stopped talking from like because you know what, it's weird, right? Like when I went to California, we didn't really contact each other much either when I first got there.
Yeah.
We kind of fell off a bit, and then we talked a little bit when we both got out, and then we kind of fell off again for probably another year or a year and a half. And it wasn't until I was well in Australia that we really started talking again.
Yeah, so
bar that trip you guys took to Portland.
Yeah, it's so weird, man. Like, to think about that, and like I think both of us, but I know I was definitely just so consumed up in like partying and like chasing bitches and whatever was immediately in front of me that I definitely like backburnered like my best friend who was just not immediately in front of me, for that time frame in my life. And honestly, my life is better
since.
Yeah, yeah. Like my
Since
life's
we get
better
reconnected,
when we chat and connect. So maybe that's what it was, dude. It was just maybe just without
Yeah,
you,
you
dude, my life's dog shit.
well, you didn't have that communication, right? Like there wasn't like you and me, we weren't talking about going through the same struggles at the same time, and we weren't bouncing ideas off each other. But at the same time, neither of us were in that mental headspace to be able to do that very well anyway. Because I was doing the same thing, getting drunk as fuck as much as I could, smoking as much weed as I could when I got out, fucking, you know, all of it, just fucking straight party animal. Because for 4 years you can't, right? I mean, you can. We did for 4 years. We fucking partied the shit out of the shit house, right? But
Then you're also
it's different when
you're
you
also
get
like
out.
a
There's no
party
restrictions.
meister by the time you get done with that. You're like I have a dude. That's what I tell people about the military. I'm like I have a fucking degree in drinking.
Right.
Like I got a 4-year intensive what's it called when you specialize in something? Yeah.
Yeah, you do like a doctorate's course in a bachelor's time.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a
Call me Doctor
fucking-
Mr. Brother Mike.
yeah, I got a degree in alcohol with a minor in tequila, you know.
You know, I don't think we drank that much tequila in Japan.
You know what it
to be
was in
honest with
Japan?
you.
It
I
was-
think we drank a lot
It
of
was a lot of Jack.
yeah, a lot of whiskey and a lot of fucking rum. A lot of rum. Sailor Jerry's, Captain.
You couldn't get
Morgan's.
Sailor Jerry's there. That was the thing about it. In Japan, at
Oh,
least.
you couldn't. It was Australia we got it. That's right. It was
Yeah.
Australia that we drank a bunch of Sailor Jerry's.
Yeah, because for Cody's birthday one year, we went to the one bar and we had to buy the bottle per shot. Which was super lame of them to sell it like that to us, but whatever. Like we were super loyal customers, but okay.
They don't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah.
They were, I mean,
For me, it was,
those,
it was definitely
those,
Jack Daniels and Jameson were my two biggies back in the day.
Yeah, Jameson, dude. You could mix like a whole bottle of Jameson with a 2-liter bottle of Mountain Dew perfectly. And it was just
Mountain Dew.
chef's kiss. Oh,
Jameson
dude,
Sprite.
Jameson and Mountain Dew so nice, dude. Sprite, come on, bro. What are you doing? Pouring cough syrup in there too? You fucking loser.
Bro, it got so bad to the point where I was like a regular at this bar, and like I would walk in. This is like a club, mind you.
Is that the one where you had to cross the bridge to get to? What was that one called?
Oh no, sorry. This is in North Carolina.
Jackson or North Carolina. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's not in Kintown.
No,
Gotcha.
not in
Okay.
Kintown.
Okay.
But fuck, what was I saying? Oh yeah, like
walked into the bar.
yeah. So like I would walk into this like rooftop bar, like kind of nightclubby type thing.
Yeah.
The bartender would recognize me as I walk in, and just by the time I get to the bar, hand me a Jameson and Sprite.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude, that's how you know you got
Chuck it on the tab.
you got a fucking problem going, dude.
Yeah. The problem is that you're too friendly with the bartenders.
Bro, did I ever tell you? I may have told this story in the podcast before, but I wonder if you remember that same bar. God, I don't know how to tell this story to protect identities, but okay, whatever. My ex-girlfriend came to visit in North Carolina, and
Yeah.
I was with my current girlfriend at the time. Or like,
Oh.
I don't know if we were together. I think we were. I don't know. Anyway, we pretty much we're up at that same bar, and like I'm getting like drunk with my first love, like ex-girlfriend that I lost my virginity to, and my current girlfriend are all in the same bar.
Oh, I know who it is. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. And then at some point my ex can't handle what she's been just drinking heavy, dude. Can't handle it. In the middle of a crowded bar, barfs like not on the bar top, but like just empties barf on like right on like the stool like side of this bar. And this is like my bar that I frequent. Like I'm here all the time. Like I know the owner, you know. Go on, yes.
Was there like a moment where you had to decide, like, all right, this is my ex. I'm not with her anymore, but somebody I'm still close to, right? Am I gonna take ownership of this drunk ass that's just puked all over my bar? Was there a moment where you had to be like, fuck, am I gonna drop this chick and like just let the bar do what they do, or am I gonna take responsibility and help, or what happened?
Maybe I would like honestly I felt so bad because I was like this is like, you know, this is like my home base, you know, you just fucking barfed in it. And then this is like a busy night, this is a nightclub, like they don't have time to clean up your fucking barf. No. But anyway, they do. Well, like, I'm like, I turn to my current girlfriend and I go, can you help out with this? And because like I'm not gonna take her into like the men's bathroom, which was like a fucking disaster, mind you. Like it was not like well renovated. This is like a divey kind of place.
No, men's bathrooms never are either. Women's bathrooms might get a little bit of attention sometimes, but the men's, dude, they're just like, they've got a trough and there's some stickers in the back of the trough.
Yeah.
And then there's a dude passed out in the one stall. Yeah,
right.
That's it. He's old.
Yeah. So then at some point, my current girlfriend was taking care of my ex-girlfriend and like holding her hair back as she barfed.
Right. Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, it was quite the weird evening. Yeah, we ended up getting in an Uber, and it was like ex, me, current, and like I was like holding a bag for my ex. You know, she's like unconscious, and I was like, don't fucking puke in this Uber.
Right.
And
current girlfriend's like, what the fuck?
Current girlfriend not happy, pretty drunk.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like popping off at me, and I was like, hey, you're definitely kind of being a cunt about this. And,
beautiful,
dude.
Beautiful,
dude. She punches me in my face as I'm holding a bag. As I'm holding a bag, she punches me in the face. No, like not like she wasn't like strong enough to actually hurt me. I was just like, cool. I just got punched in the face by my current girlfriend.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm not sure if we were actually together or just, I don't know, fucking at that point. I don't remember.
It's
either way
kind of a weird situation. I don't see you putting yourself in a point where you're hanging out with one and the other if you're with the other one.
Man,
I only see that scenario happening if you're kind of like,
bro, believe it or not, it took me a while to learn that lesson. I did eventually, but it took me a long time to realize that was a bad idea. I was like, no, we can make it work. Everybody's cool. We'll all chill, and then we just get hammered, and there's always major problems. Not like,
Serious.
you know, things got kind of out of hand. Things got a little wild. Major issues go down.
Yeah.
Like I get punched in the face. But like thankfully we were at her apartment, so she just got out, and I was like, and I turned to the guy driving the Uber, because he just witnessed the whole conversation on the drive home, and then eventually I got to the point where I was like, hey, you're kind of being a cunt about this. Gets punched in the face. She gets out like yelling mad. And then I look at the dude and I was like, hey man, like I'll give you all of the rest of the money in my wallet if you just take me to like this chick's hotel and help me like
Right.
get her out of the car. And he was like, yeah. He's like, I got you,
Okay,
dude.
dude.
He's like, you look like you're having a rough night.
That's a bro. That's a bro right there. If I've ever heard one, that's a dude that's like Wakanda forever, son.
Man, that was a dude, I just remember that moment of like me digesting what happened, and then I just turned to the guy in the Uber and he's looking at me. and
Just looking at you in the mirror, like,
I'm like, hey man, I need a favor right now.
someday, you're gonna, I don't know, you'll be a slumlord and you'll have all these properties across the United States, and you'll get this knock on your door one day, and that Uber driver, he's gonna be back, and be like, hey man, you probably don't remember me. And you'd be like, nah, come here, brother.
Come here.
Give me a
Come
hug.
here.
Come here, give me a hug.
Bring it in.
You give him a hug. And he's like, I need a place to stay. He's like, and you'll be like, I got you, son. I got a nice little 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. It's all yours. Cheers.
Fuck no.
Was
I'd
it
be like,
2018?
I'd be like,
2016?
You got $3,500
got
though.
some-
Come on.
You got some money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, now in retrospect, looking at like the most difficult time in your life, like that is the most difficult. It's what you've decided. What kind of progression have you seen since? Like, what's the thing that's progressed the most in your life, or changed the most?
Good question. I would say like I think I've gotten a bit more humble, which is kind of paradoxical to say, but humility and like just overall listening, I think has been extremely important to improving the quality of my life. Humility, I would say, because dude, especially after I got out of the Marines and like I was fucking, I could fucking party anybody under the table, man. Like I could have like, thoughtful conversations and debates with people, and like I like really hold my own. I used to think that legitimately I would think that that I was the smartest person in whatever room I was in.
Right.
And it was, and like I knew that was a problem, but I didn't care about a lot of shit at that point. But eventually I realized how fucking astronomically stupid that is. And like probably, incorrect most of the time for sure. But and also it just doesn't really matter. And like I was putting a lot of self-worth into, I don't know, the like how other people perceived me as well. So I think realizing
that kind of makes.
Huh?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
Oh, you're good.
Go ahead.
What did you say?
Well, I was just gonna say it kind of makes sense when you look at how the Marine Corps and most of the world functions, which is something you've touched on a lot. It's about who you know and who thinks you're cool.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So like I can see how learning that, learning to kind of separate yourself from worrying about who thinks you're cool. But it's kind of a weird balance thing, right? How do you balance that out? Because to progress in your job, especially, you need to have a certain level of intent in the way people around you perceive you to be, right? So you have to actually change the way you are, or at least focus on not changing who you are, like being unadulteratedly Jonah.
Yeah,
to continue to progress.
It's similar
weird.
to the concept of like you have to be on.
Right.
But so like it is like I'm never like pretending to be something that I'm not, but like I'm on. Like I'm trying I'm trying to like be quick. I'm trying to you know, like connect with people, make you know, network, build my branch, and then ultimately, you know, the more I get to know people, the more they like me, great. And then that's just gonna, at some level, it will pay dividends, I think, you know, as far as when comes time for promotion, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It is like, I see what you're saying as far as like I'm kind of forced to care what other people think if I want to kind of play the game as it is.
Right.
I feel like I try to do I have a good balance with it.
Yeah.
Like there is, like the only way to win is kind of not to play, but trying to get more money, dude. So I need more money.
I think keeping it in the perspective of it being a game is probably the best way to look at it, right? Because you don't play the game at home. You don't play the game constantly through your day to day. You're playing the game during the game, right? And so, I guess for me, I've always struggled with like self-identity issues. Not like, oh, I think I might be a girl, or oh, I think I might be trans, or a bi, or I want to have sex with trees, like stuff like that. But like I've always had like this weird, I don't know, it's like it feels like a contradiction in my mind, the idea of like you want people to approve of who you are and accept you into the society, whatever, however small or big it is, right? Whether there's a tiny community or work community or society itself, right? Like there's like this inherent drive to want to be accepted, and at the same time, trying to be yourself, and then also trying to figure out who that is, right? And then trying to balance out if that's the kind of person that you want to be, and if that kind of person makes you proud, and if it does is it also compatible with the community that you're trying to be a part of, or the society you're trying to be a part of. So I think calling it a game is pretty smart. I've never thought of it like that, where you're it's game day, you're at work, you're fucking being the person that they need you to be, and they're looking for to give you the promotions and stuff. And then when you leave, it's like, turn that shit off. I don't give a fuck about fucking milling. I don't give a fuck about forklifts, and safety can go get fucked. That, at least that's the way I look at it. Is I think I've always had trouble separating myself from the different like stages.
Yeah, I think honestly though, the game or whatever it is, I think it comes kind of naturally to me, at least in like the concept of like kind of going for like status or power. Man, there's something just like innate in me when it comes to of like just of like I want that, I want not to the point where I think it's unhealthy, but I think it's like something worth pursuing, makes your life easier, you have better connections with people if you have more status, money, and power. And like there's definitely a piece of me that I have to like keep in check of like, humble yourself a bit there, Jonah. You're going a little too hard right now. You're saying a little too much. You need to chill back a bit.
People think you're a fuckhead, so
well, that's the thing, dude.
Wind back.
That's the thing, man. Is like you don't want. Like you don't want to not have any reputation, but you definitely don't want a bad reputation.
Right. Yeah.
But I think I just have like a tendency toward wanting to be in leadership just for like, I think I can do a better job, essentially is like, I hate being told what to do by idiots. And I'm like, and they're like, well, why don't you do it? And I'm like, I can do this way better.
Give me the reins. Let's go.
So, yeah. Oh, my cat's gonna start meowing here soon.
Well, did you want to cut it there, bro? Go to the brorch. We're at about an hour. Unless there's something else you wanted to talk about on this free version of the Weasel.
Free version. I feel like just kind of what we always get into. We seem to be a broken record as far as we're trying to get back in it. You know, you're back in the state or back in Australia now. We're making plans. We're divvying up tasks and resources to really put some time into working on this together. So I'm excited for that, man.
Yeah, me too. A little update for everybody who's listening to this. By the time you hear this, it probably won't matter too much. All right, but we're about three episodes behind on the main show, and then 3 episodes behind on the Brorch. Oh no, 1 episode behind on the Brorch because I uploaded 2 yesterday. So all the editing's caught up. It's just gotta upload the shit to the internet, and it's all sorted. We're all caught up again. So for our Brorches, we apologize for our Paterons. We apologize for the weird gap in posts, and so I don't know. I think we've still got that on hold.
Yeah. We're also not charging you, so
that's-
fucking relax. Yeah.
So if I can calm down, all right, quit blowing up our inboxes, all right.
Right.
And which isn't happening. And then, but yeah, so we're back on track. We're gonna start doing more drops. Jonah's gonna have a casting couch soon, which is cool. So we'll be getting some sick interviews.
In my brosment, dude.
In the brosment. Oh, dude, fuck yeah, brosment, son. Yeah. Anyway, we love you guys. I love you, dude. Thank you.
I love you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.